Trump still leads Cruz by more than 200 delegates. To clinch the party's nomination, he needs 1,237. If no one has that many delegates when the Republican convention begins in July, then anything could happen. Julianna Goldman in Washington is going to show us how this contested convention would benefit a candidate who knows the rules. Julianna, good morning.
Good morning. Well, voters have spoken, but in Republican politics, it's actually the party leaders who decide the delegates that ultimately pick the nominee. Now, every state is different, which makes this process especially confusing. But essentially, when you boil it down, getting your delegates requires a full court press, strategic ground game, and political courting. And when it comes to this fight, Donald Trump has found himself with one hand tied behind his back.
Donald Trump slate right here.
In Colorado this weekend,
Ditch the zero. Come in with a hero. Come on.
Gabriel Schwartz was hoping he'd be picked as a national delegate for Donald Trump.
You're a national delegate for Cruz?
But Ted Cruz has been playing the delegate game for months. Trump hasn't, and it put Schwartz on the defensive.
You gave up on this state, didn't you?
I'm not working for the campaign.
As a result, Cruz swept Colorado, taking its 34 delegates.
I want to thank everyone who's here running for a delegate.
These scenes will play out over the next 2 months as campaigns scramble to send their loyalists to Cleveland this summer.
Let me tell you who the party bosses are, the individual delegates.
Charlie Black is a Republican campaign veteran, leading Kasich's delegate hunting team. He worked for Ronald Reagan during the last contested convention in 1976. The California governor clinched the popular vote, but sitting President Gerald Ford won the majority of delegates, a process that played out on the convention floor.
It has been a touch-and-go battle. Ronald Reagan has put up quite a fight.
And it could happen again this year. Here's how. Once the national delegates are chosen, each campaign will let loose the delegate hunters. Think mini detectives tasked with wooing delegates.
They are trying to find out what the motivations are of all, 2,200 delegates.
GOP strategist Rick Davis worked for Reagan's 1984 convention.
I mean, it's a horse trade, and if you're not in the trade, you're going to get stolen.
That time is in Cleveland. Most delegates are bound for the first vote. If no candidate gets the majority, most of the delegates become free agents for the second vote, or until they hit that magic 1237 number.
Is that when, all hell breaks loose?
Yeah, I think all hell breaks loose. And that's when the spade work that's been done pays off.
Number 19 on the ballot.
Bring on the wheeling and dealing.
There'll be a lot of ambassadorships given out on the floor of that convention.
Does it raise any corruption questions?
Sure, you're not supposed to promise a job for a vote.
The promises can't have a monetary value, but they can be priceless. In 1976, Black says delegates were offered rides on Air Force One, invitations to state dinners.
I suppose somebody could get invited to fly on Trump Air, but I don't think that's enough to sway a delegate who knows better.
Trump's chief delegate strategist was asked yesterday essentially what's kosher when it comes to luring delegates. Could Trump, for example, give free weekends at his hotels? Nora, he said, well, there's the law, and then there's ethics, and then there's getting votes.
Really, really interesting. Juliana, thank you so much.